People say that the key to happiness is looking on the bright side. And it's true that even a brief glimpse of something bright and colorful gives most of us an instant mood boost. But what if finding the bright side was as simple as looking in the mirror? For women with wildly colored hair, brightness is right on their heads and as permanent as the dye on their strands. And people notice. Whether high in the sky or captured in bright dye, bright colors stand out and draw us in. This is Maine, and today we're taking a look at how boldly colored hair really colors women's worlds. Stylist Shay Daspin has always loved bright colors and always wanted to dye her hair a vivid hue. But Shay's dream of bright hair took a back seat when she thought doing so would jeopardize her other dream of becoming a model. Now, family members convinced her that wild hair color could ruin her ability to book gigs. And when becoming a model didn't quite pan out, she decided to go for the bold dye job she now believes changed her life in ways she could have never expected. Thank you so much, Shay, for having us here today at Unicorn Studios. It is beautiful. It's obviously colorful as hell. Do you ever find yourself fighting against stereotypes, whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing?
The main thing I think my parents were worried about was like I wouldn't be able to get a job or something, like because I have a lawyer dad and like a stay-at-home mom. They're not from like these creative backgrounds. They thought that me dyeing my hair a bright color meant that like I was unemployable. Stereotypically, people with crazy colorful hair, they're punk rock kids or they're just super rebellious and they're just there to like mess everything up. I got bullied and made fun of a lot for being super, super tall. When I got like made fun of, I would just tell myself like, well, they don't know anything. I'm gonna be a supermodel when I grow up. So that's how I got interested in fashion in the first place. I saw modeling as this way above, I guess, the bullying. As I grew up, I saw that modeling didn't quite fit my lifestyle. Like it was, you know, I grew up and like hit puberty and like got hips and stuff. And I was like, okay, so maybe modeling's like not totally for me, but I still love fashion. And I've spent all this time following all these like really interesting looking models. I emulated their aesthetic growing up. And my mom always told me like, if you want to be one of those models, like you can't dye your hair, you can't get any tattoos. I just never thought to do it because I had grown up thinking I can't do that. That would prohibit reaching my dreams.
When did color start playing an important role in your life?
I've always liked color. I think when I was younger, all the inspiration I drew from magazines and shows that I watched, they were always colorful, but I never quite realized that. And I think I really started to notice how much I like color when I moved to New York and I saw everyone was wearing black. I feel like there's something missing. And I think that's when I realized that I was missing color in my life and I wanted to start incorporating it more to make up for the lack of color around me. I don't think I perfected my physical fashion stylist aesthetic until I dyed my hair bright blue for the first time. It really made me realize that this is what I'm supposed to be. It sounds really cheesy. It makes me want to cry. I started working in fashion because I realized I love dressing people and playing dress up and seeing how putting somebody in a new dress or a new suit or whatever it is, I love seeing their reaction and seeing how they immediately change their perspective on who they can be and like where they can go given what they're wearing. I thought that was so fascinating, and that's where I'm now, and that's where I get to use all of my color. I get to put it on my head, I get to put it on my body. It made people notice me more. People began to realize like, oh, Shay's work is colorful.
Yeah.
The whole time I've been styling. I just think you're noticing it now because you see it like right in front of your face. It's not prohibiting me from getting jobs. It's in fact giving me more work, which is great.
I love that. How often are you changing your hair color?
Well, I've been pink for a little bit over a year now. Basically, I went from bright blue, and then I let the blue fade, and I became this like opalescent kind of like iridescent unicorn thing. And I was that for a while, and then maybe like a month before my wedding last year, I went bubblegum pink. So I was bubblegum pink for my wedding. And then after the wedding, I was like, this faded way too fast. Like, I don't have time to keep redoing this every month. So I went in the next time, and I was like, just make it super saturated. And so I went like neon pink after that. And that's my new go-to.
how did you feel when you finally saw yourself with a good dye job?
I was so excited. Like, I had dreamt of having hair like that for so long, and I just never imagined I could ever have one like that. And being able to see it actually on my head was very exciting. Now that I get to carry the color with me everywhere I go, I can now do all these things I had like dreamt about earlier, but like pushed to the side because I thought that would prohibit my dreams. You carry it with you physically, but you carry it with you mentally as well. Mm-hmm. And it makes your interactions with people that much more pleasant, and it makes your decisions that much more pleasant. I think that's really important.
With more and more women leaning into the look, loud hair is everywhere. And now it's finally being valued for the happiness and sense of individuality it brings to the women who rock it. And honestly, I couldn't think of a more positive statement to make.